G'day guys, so in this video we're going to make a pitfall trap in Ark Survival Evolved to catch unwary people. This is easy to do with explosives, but here we're going to do it completely mechanical. So start by slapping down 2 foundations with 1 door at the front and ringed with windows. Now you can do it 1 wall high, but if they have a pterodon they can call it onto themselves and get out. So I'm going to make it 2 walls higher. Just standard walls for the 2nd level. In theory you do only need it 1 foundation long, but we'll have a look at another configuration later. Okay, so now out the back put a ceiling. And a pillar down. Okay, so now ring the sides and back with thatch ceilings. This is to make it easier to build. So we are in effect creating the same structure that's used for the armoured crop plots. So I'm going to use this opportunity to show you how to line them up correctly. As people have been saying, they've been having trouble lining up them large crop plots in the centre. So put a ladder up to your thatch ceilings, and then a thatch wall on the opposite side of the pillared ceiling. You want to hit the Y button so the outside of that wall is facing you. Now get your large crop plot out and climb the ladder. You'll see the crop plot out in front of you, so just go up and down the ladder until it's as far forward as possible. Now delete the wall and you'll have a perfectly centered crop plot. We don't really need a plant in this build, but it will attract attention and that's what we want. Okay, so now ring the sides and back with stone railing, snapping it onto the outside thatch ceiling. Okay, so now hatch frame on top of the pillar above the crop plot and sealed up with a trapdoor. Now off the open edge of that hatch frame, build a wall up. Make sure the wood interior of that wall is facing back towards the crop plot. Now 1 ceiling forward and hang a wooden window frame off the front of that ceiling. Extend the wall down 1 further. I'm using thatch as it's going to be deleted later. And place a stone ceiling in between the wood and the thatch. Make sure it's not snapped to them side walls. It should be a bit higher, with that gap in the front. Okay, so now you want to plant your crop. It doesn't matter if it's plant X or carrots or whatever. We're just using it to attract attention. Just open the hatch frame, fertilizer and seed it up. Whack in all the windows and the door. You can get rid of the thatch wall now, although it doesn't really matter. Now 2 wooden ramps up to that top ceiling. Make sure it's snapped to the top one. Now you're going to need to make a wooden catwalk. And snap that off the back, on the lower wall, just beneath the crop plot. And it's now time to bait the trap. So we're just going to use a small storage box and push that as far back as possible along the catwalk. By placing it that far back, it's just out of reach and can't be opened. Okay, so it's not a good idea to have only that window section to be wood. It looks a bit sus, so extend a wood ceiling out the front. This will also help prevent pterodons being called in. Okay, it's time to get rid of all those thatched ceilings. So just go through and demolish all of those. And now, at least the working parts of the trap is complete. But we're not finished yet. We're only going to have about 15 minutes or less to check the trap after it's been triggered. So I'll add a hidden spawn point by sinking a foundation 3 times and laying a bed down. So lowering it 3 times with pillars. We're bringing together a lot of techniques we've covered in other videos. Okay, so onto the 3 times sunken foundation. Place your bed. And then extend the foundation out from the other side at the same level as the other ones to seal it in. If we do make a catch, we are going to need some weapons. Place a storage box next to the foundation, put some weapons in it and foundation that in. Place some more foundations around the other side. This is to bring us up to the level of the windows. Now to set the trap on a hair trigger, go up the ramp and hit the wooden window frame until it's within 1 hit of failing. And now there's only one thing left to do. You need to be alerted when the trap's gone off. So, tame a dodo. Chuck it in the pen and set it to aggressive. You may want to also name it something distinctive. So now if someone's caught, they're forced to kill the dodo, so it'll show up on your screen and also in the tribe log. A dodo's the cheapest, but you can use a compy or a flock of dimorphodons, whatever you want. If you use stacked metal doors, you can even fit a raptor in, or even a terror bird. That won't work with stacked stone door frames. They won't fit through. Okay, all done. Now just to sit and wait. With the eye on the prize, the victim takes a swing at that window frame. Causing the ramp to give way and the floor to collapse beneath him. The dodo attacks and he's forced to kill it. Now we can use the bed to teleport in if we happen to be too far away. Now our captee is a sitting duck, ready to be killed, knocked out or robbed. Here's the same concept, but a different configuration. This time just with a thatch wall to capture people that don't have weapons or stone tools. So you can configure this a few different ways. And you can picture it being on a base with a collapsible floor into a pit of crocodiles or something, just as base defense. That would be amusing. So here's one I put up on an official server, just with a fire as lure, bit of a sign, and the box as bait, with the window on a hair trigger. It also has a hidden bed and weapons next to it, and of course the dodo alarm. Another one on the same server, but this one on a raft, so it's mobile. We can place it wherever we want. I mean, the sign and everything's just for comedic value. I made these and then I wasn't online for days, so I don't actually know what happened. I only know that two separate tribes were pissed off enough to come back with rocket launchers. So that one was completely levelled. And this one was triggered, but the back's been blown off it. So yeah, you can do your own personal touches with it. So back to this one. Down into narcotic traps and alarm bells. Whatever you think has the most comedic value. So here's a look at the bear trigger mechanism itself. It's really quite simple, with everything else just used to hide it and make it look like they're standing on a solid structure. Anyway, before you go running off, guys, I'm going to put you towards my other channel, which uses similar tactics but in the real world. Instead of a dodo, I made a device to send a message to your phone, and that was attached to a range of traps to target a few different species. Anyway, that's only if you're interested in different lures, baits, and triggers for traps, and how they relate in the real world. So that's it, guys. Hope you have fun with that. At least until everyone gets cluey about it and won't walk into them anymore. You might want to try suspending it over water so they drown, or even over a rock they can't stand on so they'll just be suspended in midair for like a week. That's happened to me before on some bloody random rock pile. Catch up.